Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Yael Ezra Ben Levy coming at you again with another quick video. I would like to come out of the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, starting at verse 30. Now, I know most people love to start at verse 31 and act like verse 30 is not even there. But let's read it because it's part of the continuous flow. And you see, are we living up under the new covenant as many Christians and some Messianics believe that we are? Yes, see, according to the text that they love to go to, speaking of a new covenant, yes, see, is this the experience that they are having since they say we're under it? So Jeremiah chapter 31, starting at verse 30. And before I begin, first let me give praise, honor, and glory to the Holy One of Israel, the God of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. My prayer is that Jehovah will use my words to bring enlightenment and clarity. May Jehovah open all our eyes and ears and our minds to embrace the truth that is being shared. Jehovah, let your will be done in the earth and in the hearts of your people. Hallelujah. Let us begin. Jeremiah chapter 31, starting at verse 30. I will be doing this reading out of the King James Version of the Bible. I'll go ahead and start at verse 29. In those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Verse 30. But everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. Now, verse 29 and verse 30 is a serious problem for many people that adhere to the Christian belief that Jesus came to die for their sins, and his death miraculously washed away all their sins. This right here speaks against that. But let us continue. Verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith Jehovah. Remember, when you see Lord in all caps, that is referring to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is not referring to the one that you say is the Christ. This is not even referring to a Christ. This is referring to Jehovah. Lord in all caps is referring to the four-letter name of God, not the four-letter name of the Mashiach. It is the name of God. Hallelujah. Behold, the days come, saith Jehovah, that I will make a new covenant with the world. It doesn't say that. So we need to stop acting like it does. Yes, let the text speak. Not our belief, not our interpretation, but yes, let the text speak. Behold, the days come, saith Jehovah, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Why is this being said? Because the house of Israel and the house of Judah is divided. It is a split. There's two kingdoms. That is what is being spoken here. But look at what is said in verse 32. Now, excuse me. Let me go back to verse 31. Behold, the days come, and said, behold, I will make a new covenant, a new agreement, a new contract with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith Jehovah. Now, here's the first thing you must understand. The children of Israel was not under Torah when they was in bondage in Egypt. That came after. There was no Torah governing them in Egypt because the Torah was not given until after he brought them out. Now, let me share this with you. Now, I could be wrong. There's a possibility I could be wrong. Now, remember, before they even received the Torah or the tablets, on the stone tablets that Jehovah gave unto Moses, they was already doing things contrary to what was on the tablets that supposed to be given to them. They already made God a god of idol god, even though they made an image of their God. Because remember, when they made the calf, Aaron said, "This is Jehovah that brought you up out of Egypt." So they wasn't really worshiping another God. They made an image of their God. And that is something that they do not supposed to do. So they broke the covenant. They broke it. Remember, God led them by the hand. He led them up out of Egypt by his vessels that he used, Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. Moses, Aaron, and Miriam was who God raised up to deliver his people. I just thought I'd throw that in to let you know that a woman was in that mix. Hallelujah. Now look at verse 33. But this shall be the covenant, the agreement, the contract that I will make with the house of Israel. Why now do we see him just saying Israel? Why didn't he say also the house of Judah and the house of Israel? Because now they will be one people again. They will be the house of Israel again. It said, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. He did not say with the house of the nations. He did not say with the house of the whole world. Once again, Jehovah, this new covenant is talking about the people of God, the Israelites. There's no reason to get upset. The text says it for me. I'm not saying it. The text says it, and I'm echoing it. I am expounding on it. And it said, after those days, saith Jehovah, I will put my law. Remember, the word law here in the Hebrew is Torah. He said, I will put, and Torah does not mean law. Torah means teachings. It means instructions. Please remember that. He said, I will put my Torah, my teachings and instructions in their inward parts and write it in their hearts and will be their God. Whose hearts are he referring to? The house of Israel. He said, I will be their God. Their who? Israel. And they shall be my people. They who? Israel will be his people. Listen to verse 34. Because this verse right here speaks, it does great damage to a lot of things that people within the Christian faith declare, do every weekend, every day, when they're out there on the street corner witnessing and telling them to know the Lord. But let me just read the text, and then you see if you could glean and get an understanding of what I'm saying. Because remember, they will say that we're under the new covenant now. But just listen to this right here, verse 34. Yes, see, is it true? And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Jehovah. For they shall all know me from the least of them unto the greatest of them, says Jehovah. For I will forgive their iniquities and I will remember their sins no more. Who is Jehovah referring to? Is he referring to the house of Israel? Or is he speaking of all the nations? Within this, do we even see a passage? Do we see anything speaking of a Mashiach? Do we see anything here about a suffering servant? Do we see anything about the blood? Let's just be honest. What I'm saying may be offending some people, but I'm only echoing and sharing what the book says. Let us continue. Let me read 34 again. Because if you're saying we're in the new covenant now, you have to explain why are you still teaching people to know the Lord. But here's the thing. You're not telling people to know Yahweh. You're telling them to know Yeshua, to know Jesus. That is not what the text says. So you have to explain why in your new covenant you are doing something contrary to what it says here in the book. But you love to go to this passage to explain that you are in the new covenant. And somehow this is talking about the one that you say is the Mashiach of Christ. Let us continue. Verse 34 again. And they who? The Israelites. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for they shall all know me from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquities and I will remember their sins no more. Now, Christians, you got some explaining to do. Why are you saying we're in the new covenant, but you're out there faithfully handing out tracts? You're out there faithfully carrying your cross, and some of you literally carrying a cross as you witness, telling people to come to the Lord, and it's supposed to be a fulfillment of Jeremiah chapter 31, but you're doing the complete opposite of what is declared in Jeremiah chapter 31. All I'm saying is, out of love, make it make sense, make it line up. This is your brother Yael. Waiting to hear some of your feedback. What is your opinion on what I just shared? And if I'm wrong, explain to me why I'm wrong using text. Using the scriptures. When I say scriptures, show me how I am wrong from the scriptures. Not Paul's opinion. Because Paul can't violate what I just gave. Paul can't speak contrary to what I just gave. Then you say, that's the word of the Lord. This is speaking of the new covenant that you go to, that you say that we are in. So this should be the reality of what you're saying we're in now. And as I said, with all due respect and love, make it make sense. Shalom.